Every time your hand touches money, speak, because money, as a conscious energy, is listening. The vast majority of people, without knowing it, whisper to it with the icy breath of fear. I hope this lasts. There's almost nothing left. I don't know if this will be enough. But whispering to money from a place of lack is like trying to extinguish a fire with gasoline. Every word of doubt is a drop that feeds the voracious fire of scarcity, ensuring that the next bill, the next need, will arrive with even more urgency and dread. In 1929, in a small modest New York apartment, as the entire world collapsed under the crushing weight of the Great Depression, Florence Scovel Shinn stood before her own reflection and declared war on despair. Stop whispering, command, she told herself. She, a renowned artist and book illustrator, had seen her livelihood evaporate overnight, but instead of succumbing to the collective panic that filled the streets with gray faces and hunched shoulders, she discovered a higher power, an innate authority that resides in the spoken word. As banks collapsed like houses of cards and lifelong fortunes turned into useless dust, her students, ordinary people, were learning 9 short phrases. These were not pleas or prayers. They were 9 commandments, 9 decrees of power that transformed the despair of breadlines into bank accounts that, miraculously, never fell to zero again. Tonight you will hear these 9 phrases that tore through the veil of poverty, but listening to them as a mere spectator is not enough. The 9th and most powerful commandment must be spoken aloud, for your voice is the unique vibrational key that was forged to open the lock of infinite abundance that is yours by right. Breathe deeply. Feel the air fill your lungs, for it is not just air, it is prana, it is life energy. The altar of your own consciousness is open. Prepare to claim, with the authority of a king, what is yours by divine right. Before diving into the depths of this knowledge, pause. This is your first threshold. Go to the comments section now and write with intention and firmness this exact sentence: I am ready to command. Each letter you type is not just a character on a screen, it is a strike upon the anvil of the universe, forging a new financial destiny. This is not just a comment under a video, it is your first act of conscious authority, it is your signature on an invisible contract with prosperity. It is your declaration to the cosmos that you are ceasing to be a victim of circumstances and becoming the architect of your reality. When you have written it, feel the echo of this decision within you. Come back. The pact is sealed. Section 1. The revelation the elite have hidden. Florence Scovel Shinn was not a financier, an economist, or a banker. She was an artist who painted magic into children's books. Her world was color, form, and imagination. When the art market evaporated with the crash, she found herself at the most fundamental crossroads of human existence, fear or faith. She could join the chorus of laments or compose a new symphony. Sitting before her mirror, in a profound dialogue with the version of herself that knows no fear, she wrote a sentence that would become the cornerstone of her revolutionary philosophy. My word is a piece of pure gold that never depreciates under any circumstances. With this new perspective, she began to observe the great bankers and tycoons of her time, men like Rockefeller and Carnegie, who seemed to navigate the chaos with a supernatural calm, immune to the ruin that surrounded them. She realized they spoke with a strange, serene authority, as if signing invisible contracts with the forces of the universe. They whispered Latin phrases and decrees of power behind velvet curtains, not as hopeful prayers, but as executive orders. Florence, with her intuitive genius, stripped these rituals of their secrecy and opulence, kept their essence, the cadence of power, and began testing the phrases on her own reflection. The mirror was not an act of vanity, it was her training ground, her flight simulator for the subconscious mind. The result was not long in coming, and with a speed and precision that left her speechless. A man, one of her first students, was hours away from losing his home to foreclosure. Panic paralyzed him. Florence gave him one of her phrases and ordered him to repeat it ceaselessly. After applying her methods, his heart still pounding, he received an unexpected phone call. A distant aunt whom he barely remembered had passed away, leaving him an inheritance of the exact amount, down to the last cent, that he needed to pay off his mortgage. Coincidence? Florence would smile with the wisdom of one who has seen behind the curtain and answer, coincidence is simply God's pseudonym when he chooses to remain anonymous. She soon discovered the fundamental truth that the elites, consciously or unconsciously, did not want the masses to learn. Money does not respond to tears, it does not respond to pleas, nor even necessarily to grueling, aimless work. Money, like all forms of energy in the universe, obeys only one thing: authority, and this authority is not born from social position, family name or brute force, but from the tone you use when you speak to yourself in the sacred silence of your own mind. Wealth is not something you pursue like a hunter tracking its prey, it is something you command from within, like a king summoning his most loyal servant. Section 2. Commandment 1. The Declaration of Value. The first and most catastrophic mistake that 99% of people make is using a language of lack, a dialect of poverty. Do not say I want, I need, or I wish. Let's analyze these words. Want emits a vibration of absence, it shouts to the universe, I don't have it. Need projects an energy of dependence and desperation, placing you in the position of a beggar. Wish is an uncertain hope, a fantasy without commitment. The universe does not respond to ambiguity, it cannot process weak or contradictory signals. You must speak with the precision of an engineer drawing the blueprint for a skyscraper. Give the exact number, the clear deadline, and the specific destination account. For example, I give thanks for the 10,000 euros that are manifesting with total ease in my main bank account, number 12345, before September 30th of this year, for my highest good and the good of all concerned. This is like entering an exact address into a cosmic GPS. If you are vague and say take me to a nice city, the system cannot plot the route. If you say take me to the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, the route is calculated instantly. This commandment must be spoken 3 times, with intention and clarity, just before entering the state of sleep. Why at this precise moment? Because in this twilight state of drowsiness, the gates of the conscious mind, the cynical guardian, full of doubt and skepticism, begin to close. And at that moment, the subconscious mind, that faithful, all-powerful, and non-critical servant that works tirelessly, is completely open and receptive to your direct orders. While your body sleeps, your subconscious does not rest, it gets to work on the loom of the universe, moving threads on the invisible plane, aligning synchronicities, attracting opportunities, and key people to materialize your order on the physical plane. A crucial and non-negotiable warning: once you have given the order with precision, do not change it along the way. Changing the number, the date, or the objective is like the GPS constantly recalculating the route, because you keep changing the destination. The universe, in its infinite efficiency, will register this activity as customer indecision and will pause or cancel the delivery pending new clear instructions. Hold your vision firm, unshakable, like a captain who sets course for the North Star and does not deviate based on the size of each wave. Faith is not believing. Faith is constancy in vision. Section 3. Commandment 2. The vibration that attracts. The spoken word, as powerful as it is, represents only 10% of the power of manifestation. The remaining 90%, the real engine, is the feeling that imbues it. Your words are the ship, a perfectly constructed vessel, but emotion is the wind that fills the sails. Without emotion, the most magnificent of ships remains motionless and anchored in the harbor of intention. When you speak your commandment, you must feel the emotion of anticipatory gratitude. This is not gratitude for what you have, but for what you have already received on the invisible plane. You must lift the last syllable of your sentence as if the bank transfer notification has already chimed on your phone. Say thank you in the same way you would if you had just received news that you won the lottery. Feel your chest expand, your chin lift naturally, and a genuine, irrepressible smile light up your face. Money as pure energy glides magnetically, inevitably, toward this vibration of expansive joy and gratitude. Practice this alchemical principle every time a bill or an invoice arrives. The automatic reaction for most people is a pang of panic, a contraction in the stomach. You must do the exact opposite. Hold the bill in your hand, look at it without fear, and say with conviction, I thank this reminder that infinite abundance flows to me and through me. I bless this bill, and I pay it with love. Just as this money goes out, may it return to me multiplied tenfold. By this simple act, you transform the bill from an energetic demand into a formal invitation for more prosperity to enter your life. You change the polarity of the magnet, from scarcity to abundance, and the universe, which operates according to the immutable law of vibration, must respond to your new dominant frequency. Section 4. Commandment 3. The expectation that materializes. To cross an unfathomable chasm, You do not need to see the complete bridge, of steel and concrete, stretching out before you. You only need to take the first step into the apparent void, with the unshakable expectation that the next wooden plank will appear under your foot just in time. This is faith in action. Faith is not a passive seated belief, it is an active walking expectation. There was once a shoemaker whose beloved little shop was on the verge of bankruptcy. He didn't have a penny to buy new leather. His shelves were empty, covered in dust. His apprentices were desperate and ready to leave. Instead of lamenting or praying for a miracle, he stood in the middle of his silent workshop, breathed in the smell of dust and despair, and declared with a calm that defied all logic, "The leather is on its way. The divine plan for my supply is infallible and never fails." He did not know how, he did not know from where, but he acted as if the delivery truck was about to park at his door. The next day, a runaway horse, belonging to an immensely wealthy man, galloped down the street, got spooked by a noise, and scraped itself badly against a brick wall. The owner, who loved the animal like a son, decided to retire it from all activity. Since he would no longer ride it, he ordered its fine and expensive Italian leather saddle to be removed, and having no further use for it, gave it as a gift to the shoemaker, whose workshop was conveniently right there. The shoemaker did not just receive raw material, he received the highest quality leather, a material he had only dreamed of, and in a quantity far exceeding what he could have bought. He had not asked for leather, he had asked for certainty, and certainty answered him with a perfect and unimaginable solution. When you decree something, never worry about the how. The how is the exclusive domain of the universe, it is the logistics department of infinite intelligence. Your only job is to maintain the expectation, to act as if it were already an accomplished fact, and to be vigilant for the unexpected bridges that are being built for you. Section 5. CTA 2. Comment to activate multiplication. We have reached the halfway point of this sacred journey. The energy in this virtual space which unites us now is intensifying. If you are paying attention, you will feel a shift, a subtle but powerful opening in your perception. To anchor this new vibration of power and activate its multiplication, perform two simple but profoundly symbolic actions. First, subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell. By doing so, you are not just joining a community, you are telling the universe through a physical act that you are committed to receiving continuous streams of wisdom and abundance in your life. Second, share this video now with the first person who comes to mind. Trust your intuition. By sharing, you activate the sacred law of circulation to receive. You must first give. Do it now, and feel how the universe takes note of your generosity. Section 6. Commandment 4. The neutralization of fear. Doubt is the acid that dissolves the gold of manifestation. It is the greatest enemy. Inevitably, after giving a bold and faith-filled command, a subtle, venomous, and familiar voice will arise from the catacombs of your old programming. What if it doesn't work? Aren't you making a fool of yourself? Where is this money going to come from? This is the guardian of the threshold of your old reality, an echo of your past desperately trying to keep you imprisoned in the cell of the known. Do not fight this thought. Do not resist it. Do not analyze it. That would only give it more power. Simply, look it in the eye without fear, recognize it for the ghost that it is, and command it with divine authority. Cancel. And then, immediately, without leaving a second of void, replace it with an affirmation of absolute power. My mind is fully occupied with the vision of abundance. I have no time or space for doubt. Repeat this sequence of cancellation and replacement 7 times in a row, if the fear persists. 7 is not an arbitrary number. It is the number of spiritual completion, the number that seals one cycle and begins a new one on a higher plane. And as you say cancel, smile. A sincere smile. Fear cannot stand the high vibration of joy. It's like throwing salt on a slug. It dissolves, shrivels, and loses all its power. Joy is your most powerful weapon and your most resilient shield against negativity. You cannot be in a state of joy and a state of fear at the same time. They are mutually exclusive. Choose joy and fear will vanish like mist under the midday sun. Section 7. Commandment 5. The praise that attracts. Money is an energy that attends celebrations, not funerals. Imagine it as a guest of honor. It is magnetically attracted to praise, joy, and appreciation, and is instantly repelled by complaint, criticism, and worry. Complaint is the law of diminution. Every time you complain about the lack of money, you are ordering it to diminish even more. Gratitude is the law of increase. Every time you give thanks for the money you have, however little it may be, you are ordering it to multiply. To practice this in a tangible way, always keep a bill in your pocket or wallet, a bill that you will designate as your prosperity magnet. Do not spend it. It is a sacred object, a symbol of your pact with abundance. Every time your fingers touch it during the day, pause for a second and say in a low voice or mentally, I bless you, I thank you, and I command you multiply and find me in 1,000 unexpected ways. Think of it as seasoning your life. Praise and blessing keep the bread of life fresh, nutritious, and abundant. Complaint, criticism, and worry grow the green, toxic mold of scarcity and rot. You choose, at every moment, the condiment for your existence. By praising the money you already possess, however little it may seem, you are sending it a clear and powerful vibrational signal that you are a welcoming host, a safe harbor for wealth. And wealth, like any guest of honor, flocks to where it is celebrated and respected. Section 8. Commandment 6. The repetition that engraves. Your subconscious mind, that genie in the bottle, learns through incessant repetition. It is not enough to say a command once, even if you do it with great fervor. You must brand it with a hot iron into the depths of your being until it becomes an automatic belief, as natural as breathing. Choose your most important financial commandment, the one that resonates most with you, write it by hand on a sticky note, and stick it on your bathroom mirror. Every morning when you wake up, and every evening before you sleep, as you brush your teeth or get ready for the day, look yourself straight in the eyes in the mirror, do not look away, and repeat your decree 21 times. Why 21? Modern science and ancient wisdom coincide. It takes about 21 days to form a new neural habit, to create a new highway in the brain. By repeating the commandment 21 times each session, morning and night, you exponentially accelerate this rewiring process. Don't do it hastily, like a parrot repeating meaningless sounds. Synchronize the words with your actions. Slow brushing, slow and deliberate words. Feel each word vibrate in your throat and chest. Look yourself in the eyes with a conviction that grows with each repetition. Day after day, without fail, the decree will be engraved on the wax tablets of your subconscious. It will go from being a sentence you say to a truth you embody, a part of your identity. And when your brain, your central nervous system, registers this new internal reality as a fact, the bank, the wallet, the outside world, sooner or later must reflect it. The outer world is and always will be an echo of your inner world. Section 9. Commandment 7. The identity that commands. Never ever again utter the words, I am broke, I am ruined, or I have no money. Your word is your magic wand, and every time you say that, you are casting a spell of lack upon yourself with the power of a magician. The subconscious mind has no sense of humor. It takes every word, every statement about your identity, literally as an order it must execute without question. Instead, if your funds are temporarily low, you must change the language to reflect a fluid, moving reality, not a final, permanent state. Say, I am temporarily adjusting my cash flow, or my funds are currently in circulation, preparing to return to me multiplied. Do you see the difference in power? It changes the energy from a static, deathly state, yoga, I am broke, to a temporary, dynamic process, yoga, I am adjusting. Walk, talk, and act as if you are already wearing the invisible crown of prosperity, not with arrogance or wastefulness, but with the calm, solid security of someone who knows their true and inexhaustible source of supply. Your posture changes, your shoulders relax, the tone of your voice becomes deeper and more resonant, the decisions you make emanate from confidence, not fear. The mirror of life, the world around you, can only reflect the image you present to it. Present the image of spiritual royalty, of a son or daughter of the King of the universe, and your wallet, inevitably, will have to obey that royal image. Your identity commands your reality. Section 10. Commandment 8. The time that serves. Often, and it is crucial that you understand this, there is a time lag between when you give the order and when it materializes on the physical plane. This is not a trial period to see if the universe works, it is a preparation period. The universe is preparing you to receive, and it is preparing the gift to deliver it to you. An apparent delay is not a denial, it is the oven preheating to the perfect temperature before baking the bread. A seamstress who faithfully followed Florence's teachings decreed the payment of a large bill for Friday afternoon. Friday evening arrived, and there was no money. Doubt, cold and persuasive, began to knock on the door of her mind. Instead of succumbing to panic, she remembered the lesson: delay is not denial, it is a divine orchestration. She decided to completely let go of worry, and as a supreme act of faith, she went to the movies. During the film, the projector bulb exploded, and a part of the delicate fabric screen was torn. Chaos erupted in the theater. No one knew how to fix it. The seamstress, with her unique and precise skill, offered to repair the delicate fabric. The cinema owner, immensely grateful for saving his evening, not only paid her generously for the work, but gave her a substantial bonus. The total sum was exactly to the cent, the money she had decreed. The universe sometimes has to take an indirect, seemingly illogical route to deliver your good to you in the most perfect and surprising way. When the clock seems to stop and your manifestation doesn't arrive, make an appointment with active patience. The money is not lost, it is simply being rerouted through a channel you could never have anticipated. Trust the divine timing. It is always perfect. Share to crystallize your power. We have arrived at the final, most powerful commandment, the seal of Solomon that closes the ritual. But for this commandment to crystallize energy into solid matter, you must perform one last act of expansion. Energy that stagnates, dies. Energy that circulates, multiplies exponentially. Take this video and share it now in 2 different groups, or with 2 other people. The number 2 symbolizes balance, duality, giving and receiving in perfect harmony. By releasing this sacred information, by giving it without expecting anything in return, you create an energetic vacuum that the universe by its very nature will rush to fill with the physical manifestation of your own good. This is not a superstition, it is the law. Have you done it? Good. Feel the integrity of your action. You are now vibrationally aligned, and ready for the last and most sacred of commandments. Each of the previous 8 commandments, every decree you utter, must be sealed with a final phrase of absolute power. This phrase closes the energetic circuit, affixes the royal seal to the decree, and communicates to the universe that the decision is made, the discussion is over, and the result is inevitable. The phrase is "and so it is." Do not say "so be it," which is a request, a plea that implies the possibility that it may not happen. Say "and so it is," which is a declaration of a fact already accomplished on the invisible plane, whose manifestation in the physical is only a matter of time. Now, if possible, stand up, adopt a power posture, place your right hand over your heart, feel its beat, breathe deeply and speak aloud, not shouting, but with all the calm authority of your divine being, the final command that unites all others. By divine authority I command my money to multiply, to flow to me from all directions, with grace and ease, arriving in cash, in my account, in an envelope, by transfer, by letter, by message, in expected and unexpected ways, harmoniously and for the good of all, and so it is. Repeat this decree 3 times. The first time your voice opens the lock. The second time your voice affirms the order inside the vault. The third time your voice crystallizes the treasure into physical reality. If possible, as a final act of faith, after the 3rd repetition, take a coin and toss it into the air towards the sky, as a symbol of your released faith and your trust in the law. It will fall back into your hands or onto the ground, but symbolically, you have told the universe, I am so sure it will return that I can let it go, and it will return, bringing its sisters with it. Give thanks before you see the manifestation. Give thanks during the manifestation. Give thanks after you have seen it. Gratitude is the golden necklace that money wears when it comes home. These 9 commandments are not an abstract philosophical theory, they are an operations manual for the factory of reality. They were tested in the crucible of the worst economic crisis in history and have proven to be infallible. They cannot fail, because they are based on universal law. When you speak with unshakable faith, the universe engraves your order in stone. When you doubt, that recording erases and turns to dust. Keep this list on your phone, in a notebook, but more importantly, engrave it in your mind and in your heart. The noise of the outside world, the catastrophic economic news, the opinions of others, all of it is temporary, it is background noise. Your word, when aligned with the divine will for your good, is permanent and all-powerful. Tomorrow you might open the door and not see a treasure chest on your doorstep. Remember the seed when planted, it first pushes its roots down into the darkness of the earth. From the surface, it seems like nothing is happening at all, but in the invisibility of the earth, the most important thing is happening: the creation of the foundation. The seed is not dead or inactive. It is working silently in the dark. Water your decrees with daily conscious repetition, fertilize them with unshakable gratitude for every small sign of progress, and when the money seems to stop, as it inevitably will from time to test the strength of your faith, do not panic, do not doubt. Simply return calmly to Commandment 1 and begin the cycle again. The cycle is infinite, for the source of abundance is infinite. Supply is inexhaustible. Now go. And if one day, not so far from now, someone asks you with amazement how you did it, how you transformed your financial reality against all odds and all logic, simply smile, with the calm and wisdom you have gained tonight, and answer, I simply gave the orders.